Hey everyone, imagine this. You lend a friend a large sum of money, but before you can even get your repayment, he packs his bags and moves to Australia. You're left staring at his empty apartment in Singapore, wondering, how do I sue him? Well, my friends, this is where the legal concept of service out of jurisdiction comes into play. It's a powerful tool in litigation that allows a claimant to start legal proceedings in Singapore even when the defendant is overseas. First, let's define service in legal terms. When you sue someone, you need to formally notify them that they are being sued. This is done by serving them the court papers. But what if the person isn't in Singapore? That's where service out of jurisdiction comes in. It allows a Singapore court case to reach a defendant in another country. Bear in mind that this isn't a new legal concept. It originates from English common law principles, recognizing that in an increasingly globalized world, people can't just escape liability by hopping onto a plane and leaving the country. Courts have developed rules to ensure that justice isn't denied just because a defendant is overseas. Let's say, for example, you own a business in Singapore and sign a contract with a UK supplier, and a clause in the contract states that it is governed under Singapore law and the Singapore courts. But after taking your payment, the supplier in the UK disappears without delivering the goods. You want to sue him in Singapore, but he's in the UK. Can you still sue him here? Yes, because the breach of contract happened in Singapore. You can apply to serve the court papers on him in the UK. Remember our first example? You lent money to a friend in Singapore, but he vanishes to Australia. The debt originated here, so you can apply for permission to serve the court papers to him in Australia. Now that you understand why service out of jurisdiction is necessary, let's look at the actual rules in Singapore. Under Order 8, Rule 1 of the Singapore Rules of Court 2021, you need the court's permission before you can serve papers outside Singapore. This means filing an application to show that the case has a substantial connection to Singapore. For example, a contract was made or breached in Singapore. Tort claims where the damage happened in Singapore. Cases involving Singaporean property. Now let's break down the steps for serving a defendant overseas. First, file an application with the court, also known as a summons, together with a supporting affidavit explaining why service out of jurisdiction is necessary. If approved, then serve the court documents through one of the approved methods set out in Order 8, Rule 2. Finally, provide proof of service to the Singapore courts. So why is service out of jurisdiction important? In today's interconnected world, businesses and individuals frequently deal with international parties. If people could escape liability simply by crossing borders, justice would collapse. Singapore's legal framework ensures accountability, whether someone is in London, Sydney, or in Kuala Lumpur. But here's the catch. Just because you can serve someone overseas doesn't mean you can enforce a judgment easily. Different countries have different rules on enforcing foreign judgments. Thanks for tuning in today. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.